What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is April 25th, 2024. Beautiful, gorgeous Thursday afternoon. Once again, I am your host, Chris Drummond, freelance sports reporter, casino host, and I am the proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. Got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. Her name is Dolores Townley. She is a senior group sales executive for the Houston Rockets. For those of you that don't know what the Houston Rockets is, they are a National Basketball Association team. So we're going to talk about her why of getting into sports, because she did not ultimately start off in sports. So we're going to talk about her transition into that. We're also going to talk about many other things as well. And just going to have a fun time with this podcast, man. So without any further ado, I bring to you the wonderful Dolores. Hello there. How we doing? Hi. How are you? Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Okay.
How's that?
Okay, here we go. We ready to rock. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good.
Right. Happy to have you on. Thank you for hopping on my podcast. Work hard, play harder. Um, I just want to ask you, how's your week been going so far?
Not so bad. I know I put you on hold a little bit during the season. I apologize for that, but it is a significant drop off in my craziness since the season has ended for us. So it's not bad. So now during the season, off season, I just kind of keep myself busy with recapping some of the stuff that I've um, finished up this past season, and then just getting out there and networking. So that's what I do.
Absolutely. No question. I know the Houston Rockets had a pretty up and down season, a great run in the second half to try to make that play-in tournament for sure. And we would definitely get into those details very soon. I want to kind of reiterate why I wanted to bring you on here. Because number one, I'm a sports reporter. I'm based out of Minnesota, and I cover sports at a high school level and a college level. I love talking to different people who are reporters like myself, but also love talking to people who are with sports teams, different sports occupations, because it's just a treat to hear about their stories of how they came into sports. Because, doing a little background research on you, you didn't start off in sports.
Nope.
Right. So you didn't start off in sports, and you was with the Sugarland Skeeters team, if I'm not mistaken, prior to joining Houston,
That's
which
right.
which was a minor league baseball team that's affiliated with the Houston Astros. Which, like I said, I love my sports, and I definitely know that you came into that. So I want to know just your why, and that's why I kind of reached out to you to talk to you, to network with you, because I also think that it's cool to network with people of all ethnicities, all jobs, genders, and different things of that. So I'm really happy that I got a chance to talk for sure.
Sure. And again, thank you for your patience. But yes, I totally agree about the networking on different aspects and different genres. I'm like the networking queen here. Like I'm getting out. I get out there. I don't take advantage of the fact that, I work for an NBA team and I just sit back and wait for business to come to me.
Sure.
I don't have that mentality, and I still go out and meet my fans and the public and just interact with them, because that's the best way to build that network. No matter who you work for. So you're right. I did not start in sports. I was in the event industry before for a very long time, which surprisingly is very much like sports. Putting on an event, whether it be, a conference or a private party or, a product launch, things like that, are very similar to what we do at games, every game, so it was a nice transition for me. I was recruited in by somebody who worked with me in the events industry, and he went to the Skeeters, and it took him about 3, maybe 4 years for him to convince me to finally move over. I just assumed in my head, I don't know sports. I'm not sporty. It seems like a lot of hours. I wasn't really ready yet, but then when I made the move, I loved it. I was very happy with that.
I love that. That kind of answers my question one of the why did you get into sports, and I like that. I like that you took a leap of faith. Pretty much, that's what it sounds like. You kind of took
Yes.
a leap of faith and said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna transition to this, see if I like it, and look at you now, right? Like senior group sales executive, if I'm not mistaken, that's your occupation
Yes.
with the Houston Rockets. So
Right.
let me get to this question. I want to know. You went to Blinn College, and then you went to Texas A&M University. So you are a Aggie for sure.
Yes.
Let's talk about your college choices and why did you decide to go there, and were there any other schools that could have persuaded you to go somewhere else?
So I'm a twin. I have a twin sister. So my twin sister and I both were we have full scholarships to go into Blinn. You always want to go where your full ride is. So we did that. We were band geeks. So we got full scholarships to go into there. So that was naturally a yes. That was a lot of fun. And then she is was an engineer major, and A&M was the best school for engineering. So I didn't want to go there, but my parents wanted us to stay together, so I went with her. So that's why I went there.
Okay. What were some other schools that you possibly had in mind? Since you said you didn't want to go there, were there any other schools that you possibly had in mind?
I wanted to go to Sam Houston or Texas State, something smaller for sure. We're from small towns, went to a small junior college. So to me, it was a easier transition to go to a smaller school. It was a little overwhelming to even experience A&M, but we did it. So yeah, those are the ones that I would have chosen had I not been a twin.
Do you get any do you go back as an alumni to check out any of the sports teams and games? You know, y'all got Kyle Field is one of the biggest stadiums in the world. No question.
Not in a long time. I did for a little bit after graduation, but not since.
I feel it.
If you ever be there, it's like that whole, if you're not 23 years old, you do not fit into that city. You stand out like a sore thumb, like the old people.
Yeah, Dolores, that was a long time ago for me. To be 23 for sure. No question. Okay. I feel that. I feel that. Let me ask you some favorite things before I get into the next question, which is what you do on a day-to-day basis. But
Okay.
I want to ask some of these favorite things. You just tell me off the rip what some of those things are, okay?
Go.
Here we go. Favorite food you like to eat or cook?
I would say enchiladas.
Okay. All right. You already warmed my heart there,
I'm
Dolores.
not great at cooking it yet, but I'm trying. So
I love it. Enchiladas. That's pretty good. Okay. Favorite sport outside of basketball that you like to watch?
okay, now you're gonna get me because I'm not into sports. So I love basketball because I work in basketball.
Right.
If I had to sit and watch a sport, I guess it would be football.
Okay. No, I feel that. No, that's good. That's a good choice. You know, football is pretty good. Whether it's Americano football or soccer, either one, doesn't matter. It's pretty good. Okay. I feel that. Favorite city you've ever traveled to?
I'm gonna say Phoenix.
Wow. Phoenix. Why? Why Phoenix?
It's surprisingly beautiful. Surprisingly. You know, I was there for work at a resort a couple of times, the same resort. It's just stunning. It's just like it blew my mind that how come nobody talks about this, you know? It was just very beautiful, great weather, great atmosphere, great setting. It was surprising to me, and I always wanted to go back.
You know, I think you're one of the first few guests I've ever had on here that said Phoenix. I don't know why more people don't say Phoenix, in my opinion. I think Phoenix is one of the most beautiful cities for sure. It's hot, but it is one of the most beautiful cities for sure. But you already know about hot being from Texas, so that don't really bother you much. I get that. Okay. Favorite concert you ever attended?
Concert, that would be Garth Brooks at A&M.
Garth Brooks. Okay. All right. That's what's up. I like that. Were you like one of those people that know all the lyrics to the songs and you were singing it? Or okay.
And we had a little Q&A with him after this concert, so that was fun.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Okay, I like that. I like that. Who did you go with?
Just my roommates.
Okay, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I love that. Okay. Last favorite question. Okay. And this one has to do with the city of Houston. Favorite restaurant that you would like to promote, as far as favorite restaurant that you like to eat in the city of Houston.
We go almost every week to Saltgrass Steakhouse.
Now, what kind of restaurant is that?
It's a steakhouse.
Oh, okay. So you like steak. Oh, you went in my heart already, Dolores. You already went in my heart here. I love it. I love it. I have a brother in Houston, so that's why I asked that question. And I recently went there last December to watch the Texans Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah.
I didn't spend enough time there in Houston. It wasn't enough time, but I want
Oh
to go
yeah.
back there for sure. So I'm always looking for different things to do, different recs, and obviously checking out a Rockets game would be nice
Well,
too.
hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me.
No question. I certainly will do that. Let's talk about your day to day because I'm sure that, like we just mentioned earlier, it changes from in season to off season. We know the Rockets, NBA is 82 games. We know 41 of them are at home for sure. So talk to me. What is a day to day operation for you in season? Like when you get up and what time you clock out, and even if you go home, are you still on the clock? So talk to me about it.
I'm one of those people who is always on the clock in my head.
Mm,
I'm
mm.
constantly working. It's hard for me to shut it down. So we get in at well, we're due in at 8:30 in the morning. I'm usually here by 8-ish because I don't like to be late.
Mm.
So and I actually run the ticketing portion of the kids club as well, which is about 2,000 members, which so I in charge of those members redeeming their tickets to come to a game, which takes up about 75% of my emails, which is a lot. It's a lot,
That is
so
a lot.
the emails are going to take up almost the majority of my day, replying to emails for something like that. I also take care of the performance groups like the national anthem group, the halftime group, any type of group experiences like those who go onto the court for the tunnel. So those people will have, like, it might be a corporate group of say 50 people here, 20 of them which will be on the court. So I have to manage that experience as well. Their ticket sales, how they share those tickets, what entrance they come in, what they're wearing on their bodies and on their feet to make sure that they're allowed on the court to represent the Rockets, what time they get here, and how they act while they're there, things like that.
Okay, like
Yeah.
that. Now, what time do you normally get off?
Non-game day is 5:30 and a game day is whenever I'm done.
Okay, I like that. No, I like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I love asking that question because certain people don't know little intricacies of working with the team, right? They see you working with a team, you say you're working with the Rockets or the Astros or the Texans down there, which are the three major sports teams, but you also have the Dash, the Dynamo, other teams like that, and they just don't know what goes into it, the day-to-day operations, right? And like you said, 75% of that you're behind a computer answering email for the most part, trying to orchestrate and trying to manage everything as
Right.
possible. Now, obviously, game days are a little different than non-game days, but talk to me about the off season. Like, what is the off season like for you right now as you are watching the NBA playoffs? I know you'd probably rather be working a playoff game, but
I would.
but talk to me. What do you do in the off season when the Rocket season is over?
So currently, I'm just recapping what I did for the last season, thanking those who came out to participate in some of the group activities or for the themed events that we have. I will thank them just to touch base again to let them know that I appreciate them visiting with them and see if I can help them maybe with season tickets because I can also sell season tickets during the off season. So I'll do that. Today in particular, I spend a big chunk of it because we do plan themed events as well, and I am trying to create a new theme event. And I'm calling it a culinary arts / hospitality day at the Rockets. So I took some time this morning aligning some speakers, and we're talking maybe November, December, what I'm aiming for. So lining up some speakers from Landry's corporate, from our local in-house catering department, and maybe some hotel chefs as well to speak to some culinary students locally in the Houston area. My goal is to have about 400 students out since this is my inaugural event for that daytime event, and then for them to experience a Q&A panel discussion, maybe some kitchen tours, and then come back later for the game in that night. So that's what I spent my day today working on.
Typically, Dolores, when you plan one of these events, how long of the process is it, right? Now you just said the culinary event. I know sometimes there's a lot of teams, different organizations that do a networking event when they have a Q&A panel sitting around talking. There's teams sometimes that do a career fair. I'm not sure if that's also what you plan as well, but how long is the process of planning one of those?
Let's just like this culinary, I'm going to say, let's call this day one because it truly was, of course it was a thought in my head, but today's when I put some plan into action, reaching out to the contacts. So I'm going to say for the rest of the year, I will be working on this.
Okay.
Until that happens, until the night of, I will be working on it.
I like it. It. Sounds like this is like your baby, like something that
it's one of my babies.
I feel it. I love it. I love it. Okay. The next question that I wanted to ask you is about work-life balance, right? We work in sports. As I said, I'm a sports reporter. So I cover games, write feature stories, editorials, previews, all this, that, and the third. And you work doing what you do with the Houston Rockets, right? But how do you shut it off? How do you plan for that work-life balance? You seem like a very personable person. Obviously, I wouldn't mind being around you in a social setting, that's for sure. And I'm sure you have many people out there that feel the same way about you. But how do you balance that work-life balance and don't let it overtake your social life?
Social life. I don't know that I have a whole lot of that, but so I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I think the biggest challenge is going to be, home life with husband and kids as a sport, as opposed to work. Luckily my kids are older, so they, first of all, are NBA fans, so that's easy. Bring them here, but I would say probably the best thing to do is just, and our president of operations says this often too, is like, wherever you are, be there 100%. So while I'm here at work, I'm focusing at work and I take care of everything here. And when I'm home, I focus at my homework, and take care of, everything there, and try not to pull away from that to answer an email or reply to a text, or just try to have that barrier. It's hard because I constantly have my phone with me and I put my cell phone number on my business cards, which is unheard of in the NBA world, but I want to, if somebody needs to get a hold of me, I'd rather them be able to than not.
Right. Absolutely.
So am I good at it? I don't know. I think I'm good at it, keeping that barrier in there, but I know in the back of my mind, I try.
Sure. Talk about mental health, right? Sometimes it can be a grind. The season can be a grind. Obviously there's been multiple times where we've tried to connect, you and I. You said, listen, I got to push it back. We got an 8-game stretch, this stretch. And, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. But a lot of times you hear, especially in sports and journalism combined, the two words is overworked and underpaid. Those words
feel that way.
And that's good. And that's awesome. But I want to know, how do you deal with your mental health? Like when you need a mental health day, or if you're feeling some kind of way, or how do you deal with that?
First of all, a glass of wine goes a long way. And actually I don't feel it that much. When you say mental health day, I've never felt the need to ask for that or take that at all. Okay. The way I see it, a lot of people will say, oh my God, like on a game day, they'll come and see me at a game and they said, you've been here since 8:30. And I said, well, did you work today? And they're like, yeah, I went to work. I said, well, you went to work and you're here, and I went to work and I'm here. So to me, it's the same thing. I'm just at a game. I feel refreshed when the doors open, when all the smiling faces coming in, they're excited to be here. I don't feel a burden. I don't feel like I've been here all day. It's, I'm going on hour 9. I don't feel that at all. It's just like refresh and I'm ready. Let's go. So I don't feel that burden. Not yet. I don't hope I don't.
I love that. I really do. Because I'm in the same boat with you. Being a sports.
This is a fun job.
It really is. It really is. And if you love it, if anything that you love passionately, that you love to do, you don't really call it work. It's just something that you love to do. You love to get up. Like I love the fact that every day I wake up, there's something different that I'm covering, or there may be a different experience that you may come into, right? And that's what sports provides, a lot of those. So I'm so happy to hear that, for sure, that you don't have those kind of days where it's like, oh man, like I'm feeling like this or I'm feeling like that. A glass of wine does go a long way. I'm more of a Cabernet. I'm a Cab guy. Uh, I don't know about you, but I definitely like my red wine for sure.
Pinot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a Pinot.
Okay, you
If you think
fancy
about
one.
it, a lot of people use sports outings like that for their break, for their entertainment, for their fun. So,
Yes,
they line up outside the building. I see them doing it to get inside to see my job, to see my coworker, to see where I'm at. So,
right.
I mean, for them to want to be here and in a pleasant atmosphere, and that's how they relieve their stress, I feel the same way.
I feel that. Let's talk about some favorite moments of the season. Like I said, it was a bumpy start for the Rockets. No mention, you guys got a brand new coach in Ime Udoka this year, who is established as a very good coach. Got some new players too, and Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet that joined the team this year. It was a bumpy start, but y'all guys finished strong as one of the hottest teams in the NBA. Talk about some favorite moments from the season with maybe some fans and some stories that might have happened that you saw on the court and off the court.
Now you're going to catch me here because I don't get to watch a lot of the game because I'm running around with the performance. I might be in a tunnel or I might be behind the scenes, but a lot of times I forget there's even a game going on because I'm so busy, so I don't get to always watch that. But I can tell you that the month of March, when we had that winning streak, I think it was 11 games in a row that we won both off and on in home and away, was very, very exciting to see the energy that the fans create, which just fuels us completely. And the way the players were interacting with everybody, that's everything that we hope for, makes our job so much easier when that is happening.
Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy when you win, for sure. No question about that. And the Toyota Center is one of my favorite places. I have been there before, no question about it. It's a great place to watch not just basketball, but also other different events as well
Right.
in that venue, for sure. If some college student came up to you and said, "I want to do exactly what you're doing," whether it's male or female, what is the kind of conversation that you would have with them, right? Letting them, what would you let them know about what you're doing and how to get into that?
I do get approached with that same question almost daily, which I don't mind at all. I don't know if you've noticed in my LinkedIn profile, I added a touch after my title. I put on there approachable because I saw that on somebody else's and I loved it. And I said, I want that too, because I want people, don't be afraid to ask me any questions like you did. I don't want to ever feel like I cannot give back because I'm at that age now where I'm seasoned and I do give back, so I'm happy to do that. So the best advice I give them is to, first of all, to make an effort to get in that direction. I talked to somebody just last week, and he says, my dream job is to work with the Rockets. And I knew I was going to catch him when I asked this question. I said, how many positions have you applied for? And he said, none.
Mm.
And that will catch you right there. I'm like, it cannot be your dream job and you not making any effort to get there. No, and that's the simplest effort, is to apply. That's the
Sure.
simplest effort. He's already graduated from college and yet has not done anything to make that step, which is a very and I can understand because you feel mentally that you're not there, you're not ready, you don't know what it takes. So those are my easiest things. Find out what it takes, read the job description, see what they're looking for and see what you're lacking, and then make that happen. And a lot of times it can just be maybe one extra course, or maybe something, even an online course that's just like a certificate instead of a degree, or just networking and just getting to know. I don't have a sports management degree because I didn't have that back when I was going to school. So I had to finagle my way there and prove myself through events industry and working with groups. So
I like that. Okay. Yeah, it is very, very tough to break into something when you definitely haven't applied for it. That's for sure. No question about it. There's no question about it. But a lot of college kids that you talk to, and there's some that I've talked to as well in the undergrad. Obviously, I'm in year 5 of my writing and sports writing career, of doing it in Georgia, here in Minnesota. But I've always told people that you're going to get a lot more no's than yeses, but all you need is one yes.
Yep.
So, you can't be discouraged by the word no, because there's thousands of other applicants that are doing the same thing that you're doing, but you have to stand out to somebody. Somebody's going to give you an opportunity if you consistently do it over and over again.
Mhm.
But 1000%, you will not get the job if you never apply for it. And that's what I always tell them. That's 1000% true. So I love that advice that you gave, or that you give, I'm sorry, to college kids like that. I want to ask you some this or that questions, Dolores. Okay. And that basically means I'm gonna throw two things at you. And these are fun questions. And you're gonna choose either this or that. Are you with me?
With you.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
We already off to a good start, girl. I like this. All right, here we go. Next question. Beyonce or Janet Jackson?
Wow. That's hard.
It is. I knew it would be.
I've always loved Janet Jackson, so I'm just going to stick with it.
Okay, I like it. I like it. These next three are concerts that you would attend, okay? Which concert would you attend? Would you go to Trisha Yearwood? Or would you go to Luke Bryan?
Trisha Yearwood.
Wow.
I've seen Luke Bryan 5 or 6 times. So
okay, you tired of him. I get it.
I've seen him do it.
I'm with it. Okay. Next one. Would you rather go see Usher or Chris Brown?
Usher.
Oh, you were definite on that one. Okay. I like that. I like that. Okay.
You know, he's coming here in November for 3 nights.
Oh, okay. So is that you saying an admission that you're gonna go see him one of those 3 nights?
Here's also, you should know, when I go to concerts, I only go to concerts that I don't have to pay for. So if I get tickets, I'm here. I volunteer with the rodeo here in Houston, which is the largest one in the world. Which means I get access to all the concerts as well for free. Okay. And sometimes we get concert tickets from here as well for free. So
Dolores, make sure we stay in touch. I think that'd be a pretty good thing. I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out.
I think so too.
Okay, I'm just saying. All right. This one might stump you a little bit with this one. This is the last music one, but it's going to be Brandy or Monica. Which one would you go see?
Brandy.
Wow, you was decisive on that one. Okay, okay. I would have chose Brandy too, but I'm saying some people get stumped on those two because they're really similar.
Yeah.
No question. Okay, all right. Which place would you go visit again? Or what place would you go visit, I should say? Would you rather go to Las Vegas or would you rather go to New York City?
New York.
Okay. All right.
I've been to both. I just didn't get a chance to explore New York more than, I was at events. I was just doing events, so I never really got to see it, and I'd like to go back. So
it's a beautiful city. No question.
With guidance. I don't want to go as a novice. I want somebody to teach me.
Oh my goodness. You will absolutely love it. I mean, just make sure you watch yourself at Penn Station. Yeah. The rats are real. They're really there. If you ever ride the train, that's how people get around in New York, though, the subway, or you take Ubers because, cars is like, okay, not really.
When I was there, I was mistakenly believed a New Yorker, was going to take us out to eat. It's just down the block, and he pointed. And I stood there and I said, show me. I want to see if I can see it from here, the sign, we'll walk. Show me. And I'm looking down there. He was trying to describe it. I thought I saw it. That's okay. We can walk. He lied. He completely lied. It was not visible. It was even around the corner. There was no way I would have been able to see it. And I made him Uber me back. I said, that's not walking distance. I'm from Houston. Right. You don't walk anywhere. Right. You walk.
I feel that. Oh my gosh. So you had quite the experience in New York City. When I went there, my very first time, they talked to me about street meat. And I was like, what is street meat? I've never heard of that. And it was like some kind of thing where they were cooking, like they have a little roller thing and they're cooking stuff. And I'm like, nah, man, just give me a Sprite. I'll have something to drink. Like, I don't want nothing that you got to roll and cook. Like, I'd rather go to a mom and pop and get something to eat. So
You're
I'm good.
About a hot dog, right?
No. Or
like lamb or something.
Yeah, something like that. They actually call hot dogs out there glizzies.
Why?
Dolores, I'm not from New York, girl. I don't know why they call it that. I just know that I don't want nothing I don't know about. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
different direction. So that's what I say. Okay, we got three more of the this or that. Okay, here we
Okay.
go. This next one has to do with which sport would you rather play? Are you bowling or badminton?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
No, but you can drink when you do that.
You certainly can. It'd be hard in badminton to have one hand with the racket and
Right.
one hand with the ball and run. It'd be a little hard. Yeah, I got you. Okay. All right. I like that. And you admitted you're not a good bowler, which that's good too. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. Okay. All right. The next one on this or that, this has to do with sweets. Are you a dessert person?
Yes.
Okay. I always ask because some people don't like desserts. You know, you never want to assume. But here we go. I have an A, B, C, D. Okay. One of these you pick, you can never eat again. So here we go. A is cookies. B, ice cream. C, cakes. D, pies.
I'll go with pies.
Wow. Okay. I for sure thought I'm not even gonna lie. I thought you was gonna pick the cookies. I did.
No, I guess because pies, I only have it maybe once or twice a year. And once I have, like around Christmas, I have one piece of pie. I'm done for that season. But you never
Wow.
really finish cookies or ice cream or cake. That's all year round, so that's in my head.
Yeah, the ice cream and cake, I'm with you. I wouldn't have definitely. I need that. Like you can't separate me from those two. But pies, especially that apple pie with the ice cream. Ooh.
But how often can you eat that?
I can make it happen. I can make it happen for sure. But
Okay.
you're right. You're absolutely right. Cookies is hard to get rid of too. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I like all kinds of cookies.
Me too.
Chips Ahoy, chocolate chip, peanut butter, sugar. I mean, yeah, it's pretty tough. So I understand. Are you a chip person? Do you like chips?
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is the last one for this or that. It also goes to the same format as the desserts. You have
Okay.
to pick a chip that you would never eat again. So here we go. We
Got it.
got Cheetos.
What
B,
was the first one?
Cheetos. Like Cheetos.
Yeah.
Okay. B, Doritos. C, Lay's. D, Ruffles. Which one are you picking that you ain't eating no more ever in life?
Lay's.
The Lay's.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're plain, and I'm a Cheeto girl. Like, I love Cheetos. I could survive off of Cheetos and wine.
Wow. Okay. I like that. I like that. Now hold on. What kind of Cheetos we talking about? We talking about pups? We talking about hot? We talking about crunchy? What we
Crunchy.
talking? Crunchy. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't do hot.
Me neither. Okay. I almost called you. Let me ask you this as a bonus question. Does anybody ever call you DT?
Yes.
They do?
I
Okay. Okay.
prefer it, but nobody catches on to it. Like I'm like, you can call me DT, and then nobody does.
Okay. Because I've been wanting to call you DT this whole podcast episode.
I
To
even
be
do my
honest.
emails, I sign off as DT, and nobody, very rare somebody will call me DT.
Okay.
And then
Because
somebody in corporate was hired, and I think his name was, I forget, and he got called DT. I said, no, you can't call him DT when I've been here longer and I asked for it. So
it wouldn't even feel right. You know what
I
I'm saying? It
know.
wouldn't feel right calling another man that, because we know, for me especially, DT, when I say DT, I'm thinking of you. I'm also thinking about the GOAT, the GOAT of WNBA, Diana Taurasi. I'm thinking about her. So it's kind of hard for me to call another man that, but I guess if your initials fit that, I guess that would
He's no
technically.
longer here. He didn't fit in.
Oh.
You see?
Okay, rest in peace his career as
Right.
a Houston Rocket, right? I know that's right. Okay. The next question I got for you is advice, right? We talked about a little bit of advice that you gave a college student, but what is some advice that someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
I don't even remember where I heard this from. I might have read it maybe on LinkedIn, but it applies to everybody in every stage of their career, and even mine. It's whatever you did to get to where you are is not enough to stay.
Mm. Mm.
And if you think about like an NBA rookie, who worked very hard in his whole career through high school and college to get to the draft and they get selected to go to a team, he doesn't sit back and just excel and just like, oh, I made it. And then that's it. He works even harder to stay where he's at, and that applies to all of us as well. I work for an NBA team. I'm very, honored to be here, and I feel blessed, and I feel like it's a dream job, but I am still going out there. I have 2 networking events today after this, 2 that I don't have to go to, but I'm doing it because I want to make sure that I keep learning. And then I've got another one in the morning. And I'm the only one who's doing this on this floor, but I'm never going to stop because it gets me out there.
Absolutely. I love that. I really love that advice. Whatever you did to get to the place you are,
not enough to stay.
Right. Not enough to stay. I love that. I do want to ask these two because I had a couple bonus questions that came up in my mind. And obviously you work as a sales executive. And anytime you work in the sales industry, it's competitive, right? It's a competitive industry because you're trying to do the best that you can to profit the most that you can. Do you feel like it's super competitive where you are, like as far as a salesperson, like somebody wants to come in and do that particular job, do they need to understand how competitive it is to be successful?
Yes, and I think I'm very competitive. Like say I have a client like a Muslim group that I had a big Muslim night out here. There was almost 1,000 people that came out for that Muslim night, and I want all those 1,000 people to be mine because they were here because of my efforts, and I want them all to be mine. And I know that's kind of petty, but that's how I am. They're here because of me. So when somebody from inside sales calls them about a season ticket plan, I'll call them out on it nicely. I'm like, hey, can you please transfer that back to me? If you look further, you'll see why they came out to that game. And, that client needs to stay with me.
I like that. No,
so I'll ask as nicely as possible. Or I've told my clients, thank you for, coming out in my recaps that I do. If you ever need anything, please feel free to remember that I'm here for you. If you ever hear from anyone else within the department, just let them know that Dolores takes care of you.
I love it. I love it.
Because I can't control that accounts get moved around from time to time, and I can't touch them all. But I just always make sure and I plant them in their heads and their thoughts that I'm here for you. I'm not reaching out to you every week. I'm not pestering you. I'm not giving you a sales pitch. I'm not a very aggressive salesperson, but when you're mine, you're mine. And that's how so I am competitive. Yes.
I love it.
Competing with somebody I'm a nice competition, but my clients love me. They love me. I'm always getting gifts in the mail. I'm always getting invited somewhere. I'm always getting kudos and letters sent to the president and vice presidents. I'm always getting all of that. So that's why I keep them all. They're all mine. That's like, oh, mine.
I love it. No, I do. Listen, state what's yours. Claim what's yours, girl. Don't hesitate. I love that.
It's competitive, but there's ways to I just tell them, go out and get your own, make it happen for yourself.
Okay.
Don't let it land in your lap.
The next bonus question I have is, at my time when I was in Georgia, Kennesaw State University, the Atlanta Hawks did a program where they had special like ticket sales for students. Is that something that you do as well, as far as like group packages? Because they had like group packages for my school when I was in undergrad many years ago. Do you do that for students out there?
What do you mean, for the students to buy tickets?
Yeah. So they had like a little program to where you can go and get, say, like 5 tickets or more, you could pay a certain price.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if all places do that. All places are different. So I didn't know if you did that as well or offer that as well. As a group salesman, I would think.
Predominantly, I do it for corporations. I might have one set up for Chevron employees club. I think it's what it's called. Chevron Houston Employees Club. And they have like a little union type club. And then I set up a special promo code for them to be able to get the group discount without having 10 or more people, like you said. And we said, I think I counted 14 of those events set up for different companies.
I like that. Okay. Once again, here with Dolores Townley, aka PDT, group sales executive for Houston Rockets on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I would like to end it on this, on these last two, I should say. What is something that we haven't talked about that you want people to know about you?
You know that I'm petty. I'm not petty. I love my clients and I want them all to me. But about me, I mean, I think I touched on it, that I'm a twin, but that's very, very important to me. I know it's a personal level, but we connect on a level that it's hard to explain to people who aren't twins. So that's a very, very strong connection that I will always have. So it's not like I work for the Rockets. It's almost like we work for the Rockets. She knows all the ins and outs like I do. She's right beside me that you can't even see her. And mom, of course, my kids are right there, and my husband, was very strong support at home. But I don't know. I mean, it's just great to have a big support like that you have at home, to be able to put all your efforts into work and not have to worry about what's going on in your personal life, because it's stable, it's strong. And I think all of those are important.
Absolutely, no question. Shout out to your family, to your twin, who's right next to you as always. And right, and I want to say thank you for your time. I really do. Thank you for your time, for coming on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I always end it with this question: name two others that you think would be able to hop on this podcast and do what we just did.
Two others in sports, yes?
Yeah, in sport, it could be sports, but it could be other entertainment as well. But sports, absolutely, I would welcome that.
There is a guy named Ira Liebman. He worked with me at the Skeeters. He was like, he kind of took me under his wing, knowing that I was not in sports before. And so he kind of helped me with some great insight as well. He's still in sports. I believe he is in New York now. We stay connected, and he is, just to hear him speak is, even on regular sitting at a desk next to me, is inspiring. I love to listen to him speak on a phone call, meeting with clients, just the way he interacts is, I can sit there and listen to him all day.
I love it. Okay. And who would be somebody else?
Another would be Christopher Hill, again, from the Skeeters. I mean, my first, impact there. He was the president at one time, left and then came back, was president when I was still there. And he was very impactful as well. He does give some motivational type speaking and leads some type of sales leaderships at one time around the country. So listen to him, his guidance as well is really, really inspiring. And one of the favorite things he always said is, when somebody says, what's your plan for this client? What do you have? What's next? And if someone says, well, I hope they give me a call back, and that's when he shuts them down, because hope is not a plan. And I'll always remember that. Hope is not a plan. And he's right. You have to put your actions to work, and you have to put them, out there for you without hope.
I love it. I do. I hope to connect with both of them brothers on this Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. Hopefully, you and I can set that up for sure through them. Do you have any other social medias that you want people to follow you on?
I'm really active on LinkedIn. Is probably my most active one. Other than that would be, Instagram and sometimes X. Sometimes.
Well, once again, I thank you, DT, for coming on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. As I always say, have a wonderful day, and we will be in touch, you and I.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.